couple of years in, you're meeting with people all day, every day, obviously with the iWealth group. But when you're meeting with people, right, a couple of years into this, what's the surprise out of it?
My biggest surprise, now a couple of years into this, my biggest takeaway for sure is it's not all about X's and O's. You go to school and all you focus on are betas and alphas and which stock is better than this stock. And you go into work every day and you meet with clients, and none of that is the focus of what our conversation is. It's all
what is
about,
the focus?
It's all about actually helping that person. It's a lot of behavioral things. It's being able to talk people through 2022 and not have them freak out and ruin their plan. Some wise words that I've heard are, you need to help your client set up a long-term plan and then make sure that they don't blow that plan up with behavioral changes like we've seen in a down market.
So what would be an example of blowing it up that you actually get to hear?
Yeah. So, I relate this back to COVID. Think about 2020. Yep. The market was down 34%. People are starting to panic. Once again, goes back to a market timing topic where they think that it's going to go down from negative 34% to negative 50%. But what you do when you call us and you say, hey, the market's terrible, like, I need to move to cash. None of that cash is going to actually recuperate. We've seen history is not a guarantee of future performance, obviously.
Yeah.
But we see the market's always hit a new high. So if we can stay invested and not make poor decisions like getting out of the market, we would have been able to recoup that down 34% in 2020 and been up actually 16%. When you decide to move to cash, it's never coming back, and that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. And helping clients understand that decision that they're making rather than, I'm opening my Robinhood account, I don't care what anyone says, I'm moving it to cash. You actually get to have that conversation with an advisor.
Yeah, somebody else that's seeing it and kind of understands that muscle, so to speak, and how to work that muscle. Interesting. So talking about the Robinhood thing, give me your 2-second gist of it, because you brought it up, right? And I got a lot of friends that are making some money, at least supposedly.
Supposedly, could be a good short-term thing.
Yeah.
But what you're doing when you're investing in Robinhood is you're not actually developing a plan.
Yeah.
Investing's 100% based on an actual plan. Might be great when you're 20 and you don't need income and you think that you can just pick stock 1, 2, 3 and run with it. But when you get to retirement, it's all about developing an income plan and making sure that your paycheck's coming from somewhere other than your current employer.
Interesting.
And you can't be 100% invested in the S&P 500, as we've seen, because then you're selling stocks when they're at their lowest price, and you have to sell more of them. So the analogy I kind of like to use with clients is before, you owned one share of Apple and it was worth $100. You needed $100 of income. So you get to sell one share. Now the market's down. Apple's worth $50. You have to sell 2 shares to get that same $100. If that stock recovers, now you have one less share recovering and your portfolio is that much less. $100 is kind of scaling it down, but think about it when you need $5,000 of income a month, how many shares you actually have to sell to get that same $5,000.
That's crazy. So if somebody wants to sit down and visit with you a little bit because they're in the midst of their Robinhood debacle, how would we do that?
It's simply having a conversation about, once again, I like to leave kind of the stock picking to your money managers and market analysts. A lot of times people aren't able to do the same due diligence as looking into those stocks. Who's really keeping those companies accountable in your Robinhood account? Are you doing the due diligence to determine their current value versus their future value?
Yeah.
Or are you gambling by saying, I'm going to pick these 5 stocks and I hope they go up, and if they don't, well, they don't. Are they ever going to go up? Are you deciding when those stocks are no longer a good play?
Yeah, because you can't time it. I like that. Very cool. Well, hopefully you get some phone calls and get to sit down with some of the folks, and we'll see you back here next time on the iWealth podcast.